Imagine being a cell in your body. Who do you think would be your boss? Welcome everyone to the world of wonders that is biology. Today, we're going on a journey through the fascinating realms of life itself. And guess what? We're turning this into a fun, brain-boosting quiz. Let's kick things off with a question. Picture yourself as a tiny cell bustling with life. Who's the head honcho, the big cheese, the boss of the cell? Is it the nucleus sitting in the center holding all the genetic codes? Or could it be the hard-working mitochondria, the energy factories of the cell? Remember, in this world, the smallest things can have the biggest roles. So don't be fooled by size. As we dive deeper into this quiz, we'll uncover more about the marvelous microcosmos that exists within us. So, is the boss of the cell the nucleus or the mitochondria? Think about it. So, you're outside, the sun is shining brightly. Who do you think is working the hardest? It might be tempting to think it's you, but there's a certain green machine that's putting in some serious overtime. Let's talk about plants. They don't just stand around looking pretty. They're busy with a process called photosynthesis. This is how they make their food, and it's a full-time job. Photosynthesis is like a little sun-powered factory inside the leaves of the plant. The leaves take in sunlight and use it to turn water and carbon dioxide into glucose, which is the plant's food. Now here's your quiz question. Which part of the plant takes in sunlight to make food? Is it the flower with its bright colors and sweet scent? Or is it the leaf with its wide surface and green color? So, is it the flower or the leaf that is the hardest worker? Ponder over it. Ever wondered about the superheroes under a microscope? Just imagine there exists a world too small for our eyes to see, brimming with life forms that are essential to the very existence of life on Earth. They are everywhere, from the deepest oceans to the highest mountains, even inside you and me. These tiny giants, invisible to the naked eye, play a crucial role in our world. They help us digest our food, they recycle nutrients in the environment, and some even protect us from harmful invaders. But what do we call these tiny organisms that can only be seen through a microscope? Are they miniature monsters or invisible insects? Or perhaps they have a more scientific name. Here's a hint. It's a term that combines micro, meaning small, and organism, which is a form of life. Are they called microgiants or microorganisms? Think about it. Imagine you could go to sleep as a caterpillar and wake up as a butterfly. Sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, in the world of biology, this is not a fairy tale, but a very real and fascinating process. Caterpillars, those little wriggly creatures that munch on leaves, undergo a remarkable transformation. They wrap themselves in a cocoon and after a while, emerge as beautiful butterflies. This change isn't just about getting wings, though. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar's body dissolves and reassembles into a butterfly, a process that's as mind-boggling as it sounds. Now, here's a question for you. What do we call this amazing transformation? Is it metamorphosis or transfiguration? Think about it. Metamorphosis sounds like a magic spell, and transfiguration, well, that's a term straight out of a wizarding world. So, which is it? Is it called metamorphosis or transfiguration? Mull it over. Ever wondered why we can't hold our breaths forever? Well, it's because our bodies need a certain gas to survive. Can you guess what it is? That's right. It's oxygen. Oxygen is like a superhero, always ready to save the day. It swoops in, fuels our cells, and helps us stay active. Without oxygen, our cells would be like cars without gas, not going anywhere. Now here's a fun fact. Did you know that we also breathe out a gas? Yep, it's true. We exhale carbon dioxide, a gas that our bodies produce as a waste product. It's like our body's version of taking out the trash. So let's put your thinking caps on. Here's the question. What gas do humans breathe in and out? Is it the same gas or two different ones? Is it oxygen or carbon dioxide that we breathe in and out? Think about it. What keeps thumping inside you like a never-ending drum? That's right. It's your heart, the mighty pump. This fist-sized powerhouse beats non-stop, day in and day out, pumping blood throughout your entire body. Just think about it. Your heart is like the postman of your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to all your cells. But instead of walking, It uses a network of blood vessels, like highways, to get the job done. And it's all thanks to this tireless organ that every part of you stays alive and kicking. Now here's a question for you. What is the job of the heart in the human body? Is it pumping blood, or is it making us fall in love? We often hear about hearts skipping a beat or fluttering when we see someone special. But scientifically, your heart's main job is to keep the life-giving blood flowing. Is the heart's job to pump blood or to make us fall in love? Ponder over it. What makes ice cream taste so yummy? Have you ever stopped to ponder this delicious mystery? It's not magic, but science that gives us the power to taste. Our taste detector, the tongue, deserves a lot of credit for those delightful ice cream moments. The tongue is covered with thousands of tiny taste buds that help us detect sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami flavors. Each taste bud is like a little flavor detective, working tirelessly to solve the mystery of what we're eating. So when you take a bite of that creamy vanilla or tangy lemon sorbet, it's your tongue that's doing the detective work. Now, here's a quiz question for you. Which sense organ helps us taste food? Is it the nose with its ability to pick up scents, or is it the tongue with its army of taste buds? Is it the nose or the tongue that helps us taste food? Think about it. What holds you up when you're standing or sitting? You might think it's your strong muscles or your willpower, but the real hero here is your skeleton. It's like the framework of a building, a scaffold that holds everything in place. Your skeleton provides the structure that your muscles hang on to. Without it, we'd be more like a jellyfish than a human. But the skeleton doesn't just support and hold us upright. It's also a superhero shield, protecting our most important organs. Think of your skull. It's like a helmet for your brain, or your rib cage. It's like a suit of armor for your heart and lungs. So, here's a question to ponder on. Is the skeleton's main function to make us look scary on Halloween, or to support and protect the body? It might be fun to pretend to be a skeleton on Halloween, but remember, your skeleton is working hard every day, not just on October 31st. Mull it over. Wow, that was a whirlwind tour of biology, wasn't it? We traversed through the green jungles of leaves, the microscopic world of tiny organisms, and even the inner workings of our own bodies. Let's take a look back at the answers to those brain-tickling quiz questions. The mighty mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, keeps things running smoothly. And did you know that the hard outer covering of insects, the exoskeleton, is kind of like their own personal suit of armor? How cool is that? Now remember when we talked about the process of photosynthesis and how plants are essentially the best chefs in the world, cooking up their own food with just sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide? Well, that's all thanks to the green pigment in plants called chlorophyll. Speaking of green, did you guess that the largest organ in the human body is the skin? It's not just a pretty covering, it's our first line of defense against the outside world. And let's not forget about our lungs and heart, tirelessly working to keep oxygen flowing and blood pumping around our bodies. Remember the caterpillar's magical transformation into a butterfly? That's called metamorphosis. It's like the ultimate makeover. And those tiny organisms we can only see under a microscope, they are called microorganisms. Some are our friends, and some not so much. Now let's talk about the skeleton. It's not just for Halloween decorations, you know. Our skeleton is like the scaffolding that holds us up and protects our vital organs. And finally, our taste detector, the tongue, helping us to enjoy all our favorite foods. Biology sure is filled with surprises, isn't it? So did you guess right, or were some answers a surprise? Remember, biology is all around us and it's pretty awesome. Keep exploring, stay curious, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to discover something new and fantastic in the world of biology.